The youngest player in Major League Baseball made an immediate impact in his debut series, showing off elite speed and dynamic power in just his second big league game.
Swing and a high fly ball belted. First home run for Acuna as a tape measure shot in Cincinnati.
While his baseball brother and the second youngest player in baseball continued his torrid start, setting a franchise record for extra base hits in April. The Braves' kid brothers invade the city of brotherly love next. We welcome you to the Friday Night Showdown. It's the Braves and the Phillies from Citizens Bank Ballpark, presented by Kaiser Permanente. It sounds like a Friday night. High school marching bands are on the field as the Braves and Phillies meet yet again. It's already the third series head-to-head between these Eastern rivals. This time we play for the first time here at the Bank Vault. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. The Braves 2-2 so far on this road trip. Two big wins for the Atlanta club in Cincinnati. And if there's been one constant so far, partner, it's been Atlanta's offense. Right now, the top batting average in the National League.
They're scoring a lot of runs. The first two games in Cincinnati, it was like the Reds were really ticked off and their offense got in gear and took it to the Braves. But since then, Atlanta came back, as you said, to split. They're hitting long balls. They're running the bases with reckless abandon. And by and large, it's every guy in the lineup is doing something to help the team win on every other night. So it's been fun to watch everybody contribute. And when you come out of Cincinnati and you had so many hits like they had in that series, 44 hits, 17 of them extra base hits, that bodes well for the rest of the road trip, especially in a ballpark that's known for good hitting.
Braves have won 4 of the first 6 games between the Phillies and Braves, but that great offensive output by Atlanta will be put to a stern test tonight. Aaron Nola is one tough hombre. He's got the ball for the Phillies. Julio Teheran's coming off 2 terrific starts back-to-back. It's Teheran versus Nola, round 3. We'll see who comes out on top in just a moment.
Here.
Misty gray day in Philadelphia. Speaking of deja vu, here's your weather for Game 1. 58 degrees, cloudy skies. Paul Bird will join us in just a moment. Chip Carey, Joe Simpson with you from Citizens Bank for Game 1 of our Eastern Division showdown between the Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves come into action 14-10 on the year, 9-6 against the Eastern Division, and a 2-2 road trip so far. The Toyota starting 9, as presented by Braves manager Brian Snitker, features Ender Inciarte, Ozzie Albies, and Freddy Freeman, first, second, and third. Nick Markakis having a tremendous road trip at the plate is the cleanup man. Kurt Suzuki will hit behind him. Ronald Acuna Jr. in his third big league start is in left. Dansby Swanson at short. Ryan Flaherty at third. Julio Teheran will pitch and bat ninth. Joe, a point you made a moment ago. Top to bottom, 1 through 8. The Braves offense really is clicking. It's going to have to click against a man the talent of Aaron Nola, who pitches against the Braves for the 3rd time already in 2018 tonight.
He's quickly establishing himself as one of the top 10, if not top 5 pitchers in the National League. 5 starts so far on the year, and as you know now, 2 against Atlanta, 2-1, a 2.30 ERA. Check it out, 31 plus innings, only 9 walks. He's also only allowed 20 hits. The league's only hitting $187 against him, and he's coming off a great start against the Pirates. 7 innings, 6 hits, only 2 runs allowed, no walks, 9 strikeouts, and I think he was allowed to go past 69 pitches on that occasion. I'm not quite sure. But against the Braves in his career, 9 starts, 5-2, and an ERA of 2. And that ERA of 2 is kind of indicative of what he's done already this year. His first 5 starts, he's not allowed more than 2 runs in any start.
So let's see if the Braves can get to him early and give Julio Teheran some early run support. He's making his way in from the Atlanta bullpen as a light mist begins to swirl around here in Philadelphia in time for first pitch. Braves have, as I said, beaten the Phillies 4 of the first 6 games this year. In fact, Atlanta has really turned things around against Philadelphia. They have won 8 of the last 11 games head-to-head and have outscored the Philadelphia club by a whopping 32 runs. Most of that damage, however, came when Pete Mackanin was the manager of the Phillies, not Gabe Kapler, who after a very shaky start has guided the Phillies to 15 wins in their first 24 games. And Joe, they start play only a half game behind the Mets in the National League East.
They're playing well, playing good baseball. They're good at home. They are 10-3 here at Citizens Bank Park, and they're hitting well with men in scoring position here and pitching well here. He was the director of player development for the Dodgers before getting this job. Jury's still out on all of his different mechanisms for winning baseball, but so far so good for the Phillies despite that horrible first series in Atlanta. Well, when you got a pitcher like Aaron Nola going every 5 days, that helps cover up a lot of problems.
So Ender Inciarte will stand in and lead off for the Braves. Ender riding a 10-game hitting streak. He has 18 hits in that 10-game stretch. He's bumped his average up to 272. And if there's been a guy that has tormented Philadelphia in the first 6 games head-to-head, it's been Ender Inciarte, who's got 11 hits, 28 at-bats, and has knocked in 5 runs. And that's slapped out of play left side. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nola, 90 to 94 fastball, outstanding curveball, changeup. What's really made a difference for him lately has been the movement on his fastball, keeping it down, sinker, cutting it. He's got a lot of weapons.
And that's what he and Nick Pivetta have really tried to implement in the early days of this 2018 season. They have good fastballs. They like to use it up in the zone to get swings and misses, just like that one from Ender. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Nola's pitch is slapped toward left. That's headed for the stands and out of play. Hey, great catch. That's why you bring your glove to the game.
That's right. And it's only the first inning. You might get another one. Check the webbing.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Aaron Nola. His 5th pitch is up and away. 2-2.
Phillies' defensive efforts have not been very good. They are last in the league in defense. They've committed 22 errors. That's tied for the most with Milwaukee. They also don't see one here. But you're going to see a lot of shifting in the course of this series too.
Nola with a full count coming for Ender Inciarte. And the pitch out of play. Ender doing exactly what you hope he would do to start the game. Make Nola throw some pitches, maybe get him frustrated. He's a guy that if you don't get him in the first, you might not get him at all.
Isn't that the truth? First inning is ERA 7.20. Rest of the game it's 1.37.
Nola has one he likes, and here it is. And he just walked Ender. Great at bat to start the game for Inciarte, who's sporting a .402 on base. So he walks on 8 pitches, and it'll bring up Ozzie Albies.
Nola was a #1 pick out of LSU back in 2014. 24 years old, 6'2", 200 pounds.
Ozzie has 4 hits on the road trip. 2 of them are homers. Leads the National League in total bases, runs, and extra base hits so far. Ender's got a big lead. He's going on the first move. A breaking ball. The throw to second way high, and that's an easy stolen base for Inciarte, who's got 10 of them now.
Double digits. Picked a great pitch to go on too. Went on the first one, and it was that slow curveball from Nola. And Alfaro, with a great throwing arm, had no chance.
So a hit perhaps means a run. And Ozzie ahead in the count. And Nola can't get his breaking ball over. That's a good sign for Atlanta. That's one of his bread and butter pitches.
Well, again, first inning. You know, his numbers bear out. Batting average of .316 against him in the first inning. .159 otherwise. He's one of those guys that just has a little trouble coming out strong out of the box.
Braves will try to make it 5 or more against Nola in the first here tonight. 2-0 count. And something off speed fooled Ozzie. He didn't get it. 2-1.
Pretty nice 2-0 changeup, wasn't it?
He doesn't look particularly comfortable yet. A lot of pawing around, rubbing the baseball, fidgeting around on the hill. A lot of shakeoffs with Alfaro. And Jorge's running out of fingers. I think he just went through every sign he's got. Crawford tries to keep Ender close at second. The pitch to Ozzie is hit high in the air, shallow left. Hoskins long run, still coming, still coming. Diving try, can't get there. Ball pops away from him, and Ozzie's on his way to second with a belly flop, and Atlanta's in business with second and third. And nobody out. What kind of jump did Hoskins get on this pop-up?
None. He actually broke back on it on the crack of the bat. He thought it was hit better. See how he circled and then had no chance. He was looking for help from Crawford. There wasn't any. So an opportunity for the Braves here early on a tough pitcher. A walk, stolen base, and a bloop double.
And Freddy Freeman with 17 RBIs digs in. Coming off a 3-double game in Cincinnati yesterday, the first such game in his career. Swing and a shot down the right field line, but he pulled it foul. Boy, Freddie's been aggressive early in the count the last couple of games, and everything is getting squared up.
Braves have been really good on first pitch hitting with runners in scoring position. There was almost another example of it.
Swing and a shot hit toward right. Sinking line drive. That's down for a hit. And that'll score 1 run. Ozzie will be held at third base. Freddy Freeman with his 18th RBI plates Ender Inciarte. And the Braves have put home a run on Aaron Nola here in the opening inning.
Freddie's had some good luck against Nola. That makes him 7 for 20 against him. And with a homer, and he sailed that fastball upstairs, and Freddie nailed it.
5th RBI against the Phillies for Freddie. And now Atlanta has runners at the corners for Nick Markakis, who, Joe, you could argue is the hottest Atlanta hitter. And that's saying something considering the good work that Freddie and Ozzie Albies have turned in.
No question, and his series in Cincinnati was start to finish. It wasn't just getting hot the last 2 days.
Markakis tormented the Phillies last year with 14 RBIs. He already has 5 against them this year, including a walk-off game-winning homer on opening day in the game that Aaron Nola was pulled after 68 pitches. So a great start for the Atlanta offense. A walk, a steal, a double, and a single. 1-0. Nick's another Brave that has hit Nola very hard. He's 8 for 15 head-to-head. The pitch popped up. Santana in foul ground is going to have a play on this one. And Markakis in frustration heads back to the dugout as he's out number 1. Nola needed that out. Double play in order now for Kurt Suzuki.
That's a huge out for him. That plays just like a strikeout in an effort to try to get out of the inning with a double play.
Kurt's got the start for Atlanta tonight. We'll see if Tyler Flowers gets the assignment behind the plate tomorrow night. Tyler was just activated off the DL today. Chase Whitley was summoned from Gwinnett. Carlos Perez was designated for assignment, and Matt Whistler was returned to Gwinnett. First and third, 1 out, 1 in for Atlanta, top of the first. He pops one up. Crawford and Kingery converge. It will be Kingery in foul ground. 2 pop-ups on successive pitches by Markakis and Suzuki, and that's the second out.
That hurts. Braves have been so good in that spot of adding on runs early. But against this guy, you sure would have liked to have had at least 1 more against him. See what Ronald can do.
A 3-hit game in Cincy yesterday, including his first home run, an infield single, an RBI double. He scored 2. So he's off to a 4 for 9 start as a major league hitter. Gets a breaking ball for a strike. Best of the inning for Nola, who's now thrown 18 pitches. And another. At 20 years, 129 days old, Ronald Acuna, the youngest player to homer for the Braves since Andrew Jones on August 23rd, 1997, also against Cincinnati. Did it at 20 years, 122 days of age.
Well, it was a blast. That was for certain.
No balls, 2 strikes. Had the fastball covered. It was up. Alfaro liked the location, and Acuna fought it off. Nola wants another breaking ball. He's thrown 10 straight strikes. Freddy runs. The pitch is hammered foul.
I like that idea, even on an 0-2 count. Freddy running with all the breaking balls that Nola is throwing him.
Albies at third, Freeman at first. And the 0-2 pitch. Fought it off again. Well, one thing that's going to help Acuna, he's seeing just about everything Nola's got now. This is only his third major league game, first time he's seen Nola in person.
It's almost like after the first two curveballs, and he fouled off a real good fastball after that, but almost like he's kind of in between, waiting to see if he's going to get another curveball and fighting off the fastball. If he throws him another curveball, it'll be really fun to see what happens.
Braves have fouled off 7 pitches in this first inning. Freeman runs. That one way outside. The throw to second is going to be late. And here comes Ozzie around third to score. So the Braves pull off a beautiful base running play to steal a second run. Alfaro threw to second base, and Ozzie read it, and he came home without a play.
Well, Hernandez, I believe, was covering at second. He never even looked to see what Ozzie was doing. He was just planning on getting Freddy, and didn't. Good slide by Freeman. A little to the outside of the base, and as soon as the foot came off, the hand went to the base. Great job by everybody.
And a big second run for Atlanta. And now it's a 1-2 pitch for Acuna. A single here could bring home Freeman. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hammered and into the left center field gap. Freeman will score. Acuna chugging for 2. He'll slide in safely. It's 3-0 Atlanta.
He threw him another breaking ball, Chip. That was an at bat well beyond a guy 20 years old. Stayed on it, stayed back, and hit it hard.
I want to know how hard that ball was hit. To rip it past Crawford. That looked like a missile. And so did he, rounding the first base bag. Acuna's 5 for 10 in the big leagues. It's 3-0 Atlanta, and Dansby Swanson hits. And he hits one to short. Crawford's got it. He loads up and throws high to first, and Santana held the bag, and that retired the side. Aggressive Braves base running. RBIs from Freeman and Acuna give Julio Teheran a 3-0 lead. In the blink of an eye, Atlanta's up 3-0 over Aaron Nola and the Philadelphia Phillies. Julio Teheran will happily take that big lead here into the bottom of the first.
You know he will. 8 career starts in this ballpark. He's got excellent numbers in a good hitter's park. 6-2, a 2.77 ERA, and that's the second best ERA all time at this ballpark by an opposing pitcher. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. We talk all the time about who's hot and who's not. Well, it hasn't been that long since they've seen the Phillies, but it's a key tonight to know who's gotten hot and who isn't. For the Phillies, who's hot? Hernandez, Herrera, Hoskins, Altair has gotten hot. Who's not? Kingery, Crawford, and Alfaro are all at the bottom of the order. Those three guys are really struggling.
Let's see how those trios fare against Tehran, who starts Cesar Hernandez off with a strike and then missed with his second pitch. Hernandez at .310, a couple of homers, 10 RBIs. He is always a tough out for Atlanta. And Julio missed upstairs, says Paul Nauert, who's got the plate here in game one.
Hernandez hitting .393 on this homestand.
Flaherty in on the grass at third base, and Julio got the corner. It's 2-2. Julio's been a different guy. He is getting more strikes with his slider in recent vintage than at any time in recent history. He's changing speeds with it. He's hitting corners with it, and it's been a big difference maker for him his last two starts. And I'm sure he's saying that pitch was in the same spot that was called strike two.
Well, he didn't miss them both.
With Mr. Optimism, Joe Simpson, we continue here in the bottom of the first. And that missed high, I guess. Hernandez draws a leadoff walk. The Phillies are a very interesting team. We talk about the three outcome at bats. Well, they really personify that. A lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts, and a lot of home runs. Carlos Santana's first hit as a Philly was a long ball hit against the Braves' Mike Foltynewicz in the opening series. There's the who's hot, who's not section of the Toyota starting nine for the 15-9 Phillies, who have won 10 of their first 13 home games.
That was a rotten start for a guy who just got 3 runs handed to him against one of the best pitchers in the game.
A leadoff walk to Cesar Hernandez. He's stolen 5 bags. He's got a good lead. The pitch is off the plate.
Command has not been a problem for Julio in his last couple of 3 starts. In fact, his last 2 starts outstanding. Only 1 walk involved in there, 2 walks involved there. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. His last outing against Jacob deGrom and the Mets. He got no decision.
(2-0). Santana hitting only .174 on the year. Flaherty moves a step or two to his left as Julio gets set to make his 2-0 pitch.
Has he thrown a fastball yet?
Maybe one. But whatever he's throwing, he is missing, and missing too frequently. He's gone 3-0 to Santana. Phillies are a very patient team. They see about 4 pitches per plate appearance. That's number 4 coming for Santana now. And he's thrown another pitch out of the zone. Julio's thrown 1 fastball in the first 10 pitches tonight. And he's just put 2 on with nobody out for Odubel Herrera.
He just threw a 3-0 changeup.
So here's Odubel Herrera. He's one of those hot hitters you were talking about a moment ago, Joe. He's reached base 26 straight games and has a .341 average.
Yeah, that streak dates back to last season. He's hitting 9 straight games and a .391 mark on this homestand.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered to the wall and right and over it. A line drive home run. And in the blink of an eye, the 3-0 lead is gone. 2 walks and a homer by Herrera.
Odubel Herrera is a veteran player. He's been watching Julio throw to these guys. Saw a 3-0 changeup. He's sitting off speed first pitch. Wasn't fooled and crushed it. Well, I guess we'll have to start over.
I can't remember a start where Julio Teheran has made 11 pitches and thrown one fastball in the sequence.
That's not what's made him effective in the last 3 starts.
So it's 3-0 and another pitch off the plate. Julio's not right now. As Rhys Hoskins digs in, he's been a Braves killer. Hoskins 8 hits in 19 at bats against Atlanta. He got that call for an even count. Hoskins has gotten on base 49 times in his first 99 plate appearances. How's that for a good on base? Ball 2. Hoskins a .338 average. He wants to swing the bat. And he just did, and broke his bat with a base hit. The last Philly to reach base 50 times in their first 100 plate appearances was Von Hayes, who did that in 1989. Hoskins just matched him.
There has been no set way to pitch Hoskins. That's what makes it tough to work to him. Another off-speed pitch running in on him too. Just fought it off. Braves had a shift on for him, but he has proven to hit the ball the other way several times against Atlanta. That one may have been an accident.
But it worked. Here's Altair. Nobody out. That was in at 86 miles an hour. For Altair, who was ice cold when we saw the Phillies last in Atlanta, he's gotten hot. 8 RBIs in his last 7 games. Not this time. He pops it up straightaway center. Ender's having trouble. I don't think he can see it. Now he does, and he makes the play for the first out. Yeah, Ender had all kinds of trouble picking that ball up. He was hollering for help and then came in a step or two and picked it up.
Either Julio is being stubborn or there's something wrong, because that was like a slow curve type pitch, maybe a change up, but that was 78 miles an hour.
Well, maybe he'll get some relief here with this part of the Phillies order. This is the cold section of the starting 9 for Gabe Kapler, starting with Scott Kingery. It's an 87-mile-an-hour strike to the Phillies third baseman. Kingery at 211 on the year, riding an 0 for 11 slide and 2 for his last 18.
Struck out 4 times in a game a couple of days ago. First time in his pro career he had done that. .86 fastball.
Strikeouts have been a problem for Kingery. He's punched out about 34% of the time. 26 of them in 76 at bats. Again, that's up and down this Phillies lineup. They strike out a lot. But as we saw here in the first, they also walk a lot, and they're hitting their fair share of homers too.
Yeah, they have the 3rd highest walk rate, which is over 11%. 3rd highest strikeout rate, it was 27%.
Hoskins just got picked off. Phillies might take a look at this on replay. Hoskins flinched to his right, and by the time he got back, Freeman put the tag on him. For the moment, Julio's picked him off. He's going to stand at first base and wait for replay.
Kerwin Danley is the umpire at first, and he was headed toward second.
So Julio can go back to the windup now. 1-2 count, 2 outs, 3 in for the Phillies, 3-3 game. And a little bloop behind first. Long run, Markakis. He's near the line and gets there. And that retires the side. 21 pitches for Julio, 1 fastball in the first 11 he threw. It's 3-3 after 1. Offense, Joe, continues its great work against Aaron Nola.
That part of it has certainly carried over from Cincinnati. Offense fun to watch. Everybody doing their part. Braves first in average runs per game, extra base hits, average with runners in scoring position, on base percentage. They're also first in slugging, RBIs, total bases, doubles. Georgia Lottery hitting a lot of jackpots. But they're tied at 3. Over concerns, I think, for Julio and his start. Hope he's okay.
A couple of walks and a homer by Herrera ties the game, so new life for Nola, who gives up a shot to Santana at first. He's an excellent glove man, and there's out number 1. Well, Julio's velocity in the first inning, 86, 87 miles an hour. Now, either those were sliders or cut fastballs, or those were fastballs that had absolutely un-Julio Teheran-like zip to them. Won't know till after the game. One out for Nola. Julio shows bunt and takes strike 1.
They were fastballs because Julio Teheran doesn't throw that many consecutive secondary pitches.
So we'll keep an eye on his velocity when he comes out for the second inning. Flaherty out number 1. Teheran up there. The base is empty. Ender and Ciarte next. And cued off the end of the bat foul. It's quickly 0-2.
You know, we saw Julio in the outfield before he started warming up. He had a hooded sweatshirt on, Brave sweatshirt. And then after he had warmed up, he had the same sweatshirt on. I wonder if he's just uncomfortable tonight, not feeling well.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Team got here at a very reasonable hour last night, I think between 7:30 and 8.
One and 2. Nola hasn't been sharp either. His 32nd pitch is cut on and hammered towards center. Herrera runs to a spot, camps out and catches it. 2 out. And here's Ender. Ender walked, stole his 10th base, and scored on Freddy Freeman's hit. he got the offense in a good frame of mind with an 8-pitch at bat before drawing ball 4. Breaking ball again, hit to first. Santana's got it. Nola has his first 1-2-3 inning, and he did that with only 9 pitches. Lower third for the Phillies, 3-3 after 1.5.
From the Phillies, Gabe Kapler, before the game, and he felt that Aaron Nola is the best in the league at winning without his good stuff. Well, you know what? That's exactly what Julio Teheran is going to have to show us today, because he doesn't have his good stuff. Fastball has been suffering. He did not throw very many fastballs, as you mentioned. Chip and Joe, a lot of breaking balls, does not have it. This is the mark of a good pitcher, to be able to compete and win without your best stuff. I don't think he's hurt because no one is warming up. We'll see what happens. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Paul. I'm glad to hear you the same observation.
J.P. Crawford is the Phillies shortstop. He leads off. '86 and foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford 3 for 17 against Atlanta pitching. And that one danced inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pulled to first. Freeman's got that, and he'll step on the bag for the first out. Julio's retired the last 3 Phillies. Here's Jorge Alfaro, the Phillies catcher.
It's not like Julio sits at 93, 94, but during this good stretch of 3 games that he's been on, he has been around 91, 92 on a consistent basis with his 4-seam fastball, and worked off of that. You just saw the range so far tonight. He's not even close to 90 miles an hour.
So, Paul, tell us about velocity for Julio Teheran. Is this something he can find over the course of the game, and how concerned are you that he's throwing in the mid to upper 80s? That's his best one of the night, by the way, at 88.
Well, it is of concern, and here's what it tells me. He's not hurt, because the manager's going to ask you when you get to the dugout what's wrong, and when you say, I'm okay, let me find it, they will decide whether or not to let you go back out there. I had a game pitching against the Twins where my fastball was registering 78 to 80. I was normally 86, 87 like Julio's throwing now. So what's different is when you pitch at a speed that you're not used to and it's off by 5 or 6 miles an hour, you have to find it quickly because you're not used to that. So they're giving him a chance to find it. This does happen. It is very unusual, but we will see if he turns it around.
Oh, nice pick at short by Dansby, and he'll throw on the first to get Alfaro for the second out. I've got a second question for you, Paul. This drop off in velocity, how does that affect his secondary pitches? Because you hear all the time there's not enough of a spread between his normal fastball and what he throws for his changeup or his sinking fastball.
So that's a great point. He has gone to breaking balls more than not in this first couple innings, and I don't see a huge drop off on that. I do see good break on his breaking ball, which leads me to believe that's why he was trying to get through in that first inning with the breaking ball to get his arm going a little bit. But he's going to have to turn it loose. He's going to have to find that fastball quickly, and we'll see. And if he locates like that and gets good movement, 87 down and away on the corner, he's going to be fine. But I would like to see that fastball creep up as the game goes on.
That one's right down the middle, and Nola is retired. Nola had a 9-pitch second. Julio has a 10-pitch second. And we've got a 3-3 game after 2. Albies, Freeman, and Markakis coming up. Strange start to game 1 between the Braves and the Phillies. Leads you to believe that something is not quite right. Julio is through 2 innings in what is now a 3-3 game. Aaron Nola will go to work in the top of the inning. Albies, Freeman, and Nick Markakis are coming up.
Put that sweatshirt on again too. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot, except that maybe he's just not comfortable with the temperature, the coolness tonight, the dampness. But we all know him too well, and they know him better, and they know something's up.
So Ozzie Albies will lead off for Atlanta. Another extra base hit for Ozzie, his 20th. And the big league record is 23 extra base hits before May 1st. He's got a shot at matching or beating Jermaine Dye's record, and this time he bunts it right down the line, but it's going to trickle foul. Good idea, but he'll have to head back to the plate down a strike. That's something I'd like to see him do a little more of.
That was a great try. Make it a base hit or make it foul.
Nola's made 35 pitches. He set down the last 4 in order. The pitch to Ozzie. Cut on and missed. 0-2.
Spread on his changeup is about 10 miles an hour, maybe more. That one was 82 in a Butte.
That's hit toward short. Crawford charges, has to settle his feet, and then almost cost him. Ozzy's retired. He flies down the line, but he's out number 1 in the inning. Four steps.
Yeah, he almost got too far out over his feet. Had to collect himself. Good hustle by Ozzy to get down the line.
Freddy has an RBI hit. And carries a 6-game hit streak. Phillies shift for him. And Nola gets ahead with a called strike. Kingery, the Lone Ranger, on the left side of the infield. And the pitch is bounced into that shift. And the throw to first in time takes care of Freeman. Nola's retired 6 straight, 2 out. Crawford, the shortstop, made that throw, so that's a 6-3 put out. And Nick Markakis, the batter. Markakis popped out his first time up. Braves got 3 in the first. The Phillies answered with 3 on a Odubel Herrera home run that just crept over the fence in straightaway right field. That's outside, ball 1. There's nobody up in the Atlanta bullpen. They're all spectating out there in right center field. So it looks like Julio's going to come out for inning number 3. The top of the Phillies order is due. That backed up and caught a corner, even count.
Told you there's numbers in the first inning and thereafter. He's settling into that thereafter period. '91 up and in, tailing back over the inside corner. 85 down and away, hitting the low outside corner.
The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and Markakis smokes it into right. He's around first. He's going to chug for 2. Here comes the throw. It's going to be well off target. And Nick Markakis with a 2-base hit. Boy, the Braves are doubling the league to death. That gives Atlanta 60 doubles this year, which is a team record before May 1st.
Curveball. He shook off a couple of signs from Alfaro. Wanted to throw a curve, but didn't throw a very good one, and Nick was all over it.
Now let's see if Kurt can bring him home with 2 outs. He popped out to Kingery in foul ground in the opening inning. 3-3 game. Braves have done a good job with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. They're already 3 for 6 tonight with runners at second or third base. That is some kind of hook, isn't it?
Yeah, that was way better than the one he threw to Nick. Nola's right about an average for
number of pitches per inning. He's around 14. And Suzuki didn't get that.
That's what's really effective to a guy like Kurt, who's such a good fastball hitter, that you throw a changeup, just a straight changeup that comes out of your hand looking like a fastball and has a big drop in velocity. It's hard to read it for a fastball hitter.
So Nola's quickly ahead 0-2. I wouldn't throw him a fastball either. Let's see what he gets with 2 outs. The pitch. It's cut on and missed, and that'll retire the side. That is the first strikeout for Aaron Nola. The Braves leave Nick Markakis at second in the third, and Julio Teheran will face the top of the order next.
Versus Phillies, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Now that is an awesome mural. Our great photographer Sean Farnham was out and about in Philadelphia earlier today, and I'm especially fond of that smiling face center of your screen at the bottom. The late great voice of the Phillies, Harry Callis, who's patented "It's out of here" call, was the voice of summer in Philadelphia for a long time.
That's a beautiful mural.
32 pitches for Teheran. He's thrown 18 strikes. He does not yet have a swing and miss by a Phillies hitter. So he is going out there with guts, and that's about it right now. He has retired the last 5 in order. He walked Cesar Hernandez to start the game and is pitching him similarly here in the third. Three and one. Santana walked and scored in the first inning. He's next. That's lifted into left field. Acuna comes on, and like a comet, he gets there for the first out. So there's a break. Hernandez pops up a 3-1 pitch, and that brings up Santana. And you see Ronald with that cheat sheet, if you will, for defensive positioning for the opposing Phillies hitters. He's got to learn on the fly. And Santana stands in.
Learn on the fly and keep an eye on Ender. Do what Ender tells you to do.
Another shift for Santana. And an even count, a ball and a strike. Phillies struck early when they went looking for a first baseman. They wanted Hoskins to play the outfield. They've got Santana, who's a terrific defender. Switch hit. Santana's made no errors in the last 89 games. Dating back to his days with Cleveland. And he can really hit. Off to a slow start this year. 2-1 pitch. And there's the first swing and miss from Julio tonight. 2-2.
I'm trying to watch and see if there's something wrong with one of his legs, like his push-off leg. There doesn't seem to be any issue there. Seems to be following through just fine. If he were kind of finishing and standing straight up, I would be inclined to think maybe his back was stiff.
Full count. And it's tipped and caught. So Santana went fishing, asked if it was a strike. The answer was yes. Julio has his second strikeout, and he's retired 7 straight.
Well, it's like Paul said, you know, they're giving him a chance to figure it out and kind of find his way here, find out what he has that will work.
Herrera extended his on-base streak to 27 games. It lasted about 11 seconds because he hit a home run. A laser over the right field fence. And now this one's hit toward left. Acuna on the run. Diving catch. He makes it. Gorgeous play by Acuna in left to take away an extra base hit for Odubel Herrera. The first of many of those in a Braves uniform, we're sure. That saved 2 bases, and it sends us to the 4th inning, and Acuna will lead off in a tie game.
Obviously trying to talk sense to him that there's no reason to push it. He's too valuable to run the risk of any long-term injury, and Max Fried is up.
So Atlanta goes to work in the 4th inning. What a catch by Ronald Acuna. The layout, the full Sukahara, and a perfect 10 from the Oklahoma judge as he took away a 2-base hit.
Great jump on it. Slicing away from him too.
Got the StatCast info on his base hit back in the 1st inning. First, the 0-1 pitch coming from Aaron Nola. And this one's rolled toward third and foul. Came off the bat at 112 miles an hour, the hardest hit ball by any Brave this year. So Acuna 5 for 10, 3 RBIs in his first 3 major league games. He's down 2 strikes to Nola here. And fought that off.
Remember, he was 0-2 his first AB2 and fouled off some pitches.
Everybody's straight up for Acuna.
They're also very deep for him.
And here's the 0-2. Taken low. That's something else that's been mentioned about Ronald's game offensively. Excellent plate discipline. He wants to swing the bat. He will swing and miss a time or two. But a very good approach. Tough pitch to lay off, but he just did. He's fouled off 6 Nola pitches tonight. Now got pushed off the plate. Let's see if Nola tries to set up that curveball with the next. 2-2.
If he does, you better throw it off the plate. Fastball instead.
That missed. Dansby's on deck. Nobody on or out. 4th inning, 3-3. 7th pitch of the at bat for Acuna, who saw 7 pitches his first time. And this time he's down on strikes. So Nola finally gets his man. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. That's how the Braves' 4th starts. And Dansby Swanson's coming up.
That was a nice 3-2 breaking ball. Good spot, couldn't reach it.
Dansby's ground out was to J.P. Crawford, the Phillies shortstop. It ended the opening inning. And that one way inside. Nola's thrown a lot of pitches so far tonight. He's gone 6 innings or more in each of his last 17 starts at home. That might be in jeopardy if the Braves keep working deep counts. Alfaro trying to snatch a strike there, and it missed badly. 2-0. Rick Kranitz, the Phillies pitching coach, looking on as Nola's pushing towards 60 pitches. He's not out of the 4th inning yet. And pulled foul again. 2-2.
We talked earlier tonight before the game started about who has an advantage the 3rd time around, and the point was made by me that it depends on who makes a mistake. Everybody knows what everybody's capable of. And really the only mistake so far tonight was by Julio on the walks, but then the home run change up.
That's in the dirt. Dansby missed it. Alfaro will throw to first. That's out number 2. 3 straight Nola strikeouts. Well, the fortunate thing for Julio, his mistake didn't cost him a deficit, if that makes sense. He's still tied, but he's in all likelihood out of this game as Max Fried continues to warm up in the Braves bullpen. Won't know till after the game what's up with Julio. Paul Bird will find out that information for us. And we'll discuss that with you on Braves Live after game 1 of the series. Here's Flaherty. He's bounced out to first and is 1 for his last 14. Ryan, you might recall, was in camp with the Phillies, had an opt-out clause in his deal. And when he was let go, the Braves scooped him up a couple of days before the start of the season. And he has tormented the Phillies pitching staff to the tune of 11 hits.
Has he ever, including a big 3-run homer.
No balls and a strike. And it's even. Preston Tucker would pinch hit if Flaherty could reach. Swinging bunt trickles foul. We'll see a 1-2 count now. Washington's home taking on Arizona tonight. The Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies in their just completed series. Arizona's won their first 8 series to start the season. Washington's off to a somewhat slow start at 11-14, 5 games off the pace in the division. Remember, though, Washington doesn't have their team together. Rendon's hurt, Eaton's hurt, and Murphy's hurt. The pitch is tapped back to the mound. And that'll take care of Flaherty and the Braves in the 4th inning. Max Fried's coming on, we believe. 3-3 is your score in game 1 in Philly.
By Ronald Acuna Jr. to end the 3rd inning, you got to check it out. This is a 4-star catch. Probability is 44%. How about that? Congratulations on your first 4-star catch. Well, who is the most 4- and 5-star catches in the majors since 2016? That would be the center fielder Ender Inciarte, his buddy. He's got 47 total. Here's what's interesting about that, guys. His sprint speed is not that fast. He's 22 out of 23 for everyday qualifying center fielders. But you know what? He gets great first steps, good reads, and is situated and positioned very well thanks to the stats. Guys, back to you.
Good stuff, Paul, and you're right. And Chip pointed out in Cincinnati, you don't want to see a foot race between Ender and Billy Hamilton. Ender's going to lose that one. But it's not all about foot speed. It's about what you're talking about. Good positioning, good jumps, and good reads off the bat.
Let's hope it's a good night for Max Fried, who is on in relief of Julio Teheran. First pitch swing, deep short. Long throw for Dansby. Hoskins hit the ball hard, but he doesn't run well. And Max Fried gets the first out. 9 straight Phillies have been retired by Teheran and Max. And of course, Joe, the big story tonight is the health of Julio Teheran. Something's not right.
I just get the feeling that it's something that it's not really arm related. He just doesn't feel well. That's what I'm guessing at, with the hooded sweatshirt, really sweating profusely. Something was up.
Aaron Altair, the batter, he popped out his first time up. We'll give him a huge pat on the back for going on a night where he didn't feel good.
If that's the case.
Right.
Hope it is.
Max started all of his games in the Braves minor leagues. He's got a good fastball, good hook. Between AA and AAA this year, 1-0, a 1.72 ERA, 16 strikeouts, and 15 2/3 minor league innings.
Yeah, I felt bad for him in Cincinnati the other night. Comes into that game in the 12th inning, his first game back to the big leagues, and gave up a walk to Votto and the game-winning homer to Jeanette. That was a tough way to come back.
2 balls and a strike, and that's upstairs.
But as I said to him the next day, the sun came up today, didn't it? Yes, kind of a smile on his face. So here he is with another opportunity right away.
Kingery on deck. Altair, a 3-1 count, and he takes ball 4. Well, this is why Max is here. He's insurance in case one of the Braves starters has to leave the game early, and the surest way to keep that job is to not walk people.
Yeah.
Need innings, need outs from him. And walks, as you know, out of the Braves bullpen have been a tremendous problem. 59 of them now in 80 2/3 innings of relief work this month. Here's Kingery. He popped out his first time up. Scott's slumping a bit. 0 for his last 12. And that missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. He does not get cheated, does he?
He's got a nice swing, but it shows you that when you first get to the big leagues, and this is his first tour, that it doesn't take long for people at this level to find some holes that you might have in your swing and then make it up to you to make the adjustment back.
The Phillies thought enough of Kingery, who was the best player in their camp. They signed him to a 4-year, $24 million contract with a couple of options as well. That bought out all of his arbitration years, et cetera, and he is obviously on their opening day roster and a super versatile player. Tried to bunt, missed it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's a second baseman by nature, but they kept him on the roster to play everywhere, and so far he has.
To the tune of a .211 average. A ball and 2 strikes, and it is just foul past third.
Good curveball, but he put it in a place that was reachable.
Well, you watch Max take his stretch position like that. I think Cole Hamels, especially in this ballpark. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a close play first. But Altair was back. And we'll do it again, 1 and 2.
I like that. He showed him a move earlier in this sequence, but it was just his B or C move. He saved his A move for that one and almost got him.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Fried entering the who's cold section of the Ford Keys to victory tonight for Atlanta. And the pitch is lifted to center. That's pretty well hit. Ender sprinting back to the warning track. He's going to have enough room to haul it in. And Kingery's retired. 2 outs. That was close, but he hit it to the deepest part of the park. Straightaway center's 401 feet away.
It's funny when you play center field and you have to go back that far to get a baseball. You go into a real dark section. You know, the ball is. It's just like you in the baseball. It's so high above the stands, and there's very little light back there. So it's almost like you're the only guy in the ballpark.
Here's Crawford. He rolled out to first, leading off inning number 2, and Max gets ahead of him with a strike. That's the thing I love about watching Ender play center. You never see him get a bad jump. Such excellent reads, to Paul's point a moment ago. Is he the fastest guy? Nope. Very accurate route runner. He's got that very strong and accurate arm. And what an insurance policy that has to be for not the Braves, not just the Braves pitchers, but the men playing alongside him. In this case, Acuna and Markakis.
He just gave Acuna a sign, motioning to him to move over to the line. 0-2 count.
Strike 3 called. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Max Fried. Crawford is retired. Pitcher spots due first in the 5th innings. We got a tie game, 3 apiece. Our tweet of the week, and our tweet from Toyota is, which Braves player do you think would make the best football player? With our minds on the NFL draft this time of year, tweet us at Fox Sports Braves using the hashtag BravesBaller, and your answer could be read on our Braves Live postgame show.
It's a good question. There's several nominees.
Way outside to Max Fried, who's leading off and batting for the first time.
I wouldn't mind having Ozzie Albies as a punt returner.
That'd be a great call. Could see Freddy Freeman as a tight end. Big wingspan. Fried puts it in play. Crawford a step to his left, and Nola retires him. 1 away in the Atlanta 5th inning. This is the trio that got things started for the Braves. Ender led off with a walk. Ozzie Albies with a double. Freddy Freeman with an RBI single. Braves then turned in a double steal. And then Ronald Acuna with a 112-mile-an-hour double. brought home the third and final Braves run. Let's see if this group can do some more damage. Third time through the order against Aaron Nola now. So Enders 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored, and he pushes a bunt. It's dead. Ball is on its way to first and in time. Somehow Kingery was able to make that play. Gorgeous effort. Wet infield and all. He barehanded and threw out Inciarte on a great play for the second out.
Ender bunted it fairly hard, and as we talked about with Albies, make it a base hit or make it foul. Anywhere in that range, not only does the third baseman have a crack at it, the pitcher does too. Good idea.
Six in a row retired by Nola after Nick Markakis' double. Here's Ozzie. He's doubled and scored tonight. He's also stolen home. And ball one outside to him. 1 ball, no strikes. And if you get 3 off Nola in the first, you're going to have to work hard to get more against him, and that's been the case tonight. Braves have made him work, but it's still 3-3.
Well, that 3-run homer by Herrera helped erase his 3 runs he gave up in the top of the first inning, and really helped him take a deep breath and start over. Let him off the hook, more or less.
And a bouncing ball fouled at the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
He's really giving this heart of the order a lot of off-speed pitches. From Albies to Suzuki especially.
Well, in a game where, and in a series where there should be very few surprises, it's probably smart of Nola to try something a little different. After all, this is his 3rd start against the Braves and the 6 starts he's made so far this year.
Yeah, it's something, isn't it?
Braves will finish up this series with the Phillies. We'll see him again about 3 weeks into the month of May, and then we won't see him again until September, where the Braves and Phillies will meet 7 times in the final 11 days of the regular season. Ozzie strikes out. Nola has another easy inning. That one 9 pitches. He's through 5 innings again. He's coming up second in a tie game. Up Arizona and Washington. The Diamondbacks off to a flying start. The Nationals trying to hang in there in the East behind Steven Strasburg. Surprisingly, Washington's only 3-7 in their home park. Hope that continues. Go Diamondbacks go as Max Fried to work. And a good live fastball is missed by Jorge Alfaro, the Phillies catcher, and the man leading off the home fifth.
Now the ball's coming out of Max's hand beautifully tonight.
Alfaro 1 for his last 14. He grounded out to short against Julio Teheran back in the second.
Love his arm action. It's a real fast, almost infielder-like arm action.
One ball, one strike. So many pitchers are going up there with great effect. And the hitters can't catch up. That high fastball strike, 1-2 the count. Look at Kurt Suzuki trying to frame. And Max gets a foul ball off the bat of Alfaro. Still 1-2. Max Fried made his big league debut last year. Was called up August 5th. Made his major league debut against the Phillies on August 8th. So this should not be an unfamiliar circumstance for him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Max went 1-1 with a 3.44 ERA in 4 starts. 7 earned runs in 18 1/3 innings as a starting pitcher. Had that great game against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, if memory serves. He's on in relief of Julio tonight. This is his second inning. The 2-2 pitch. And now he's run it full.
He didn't have a good grip on that changeup. Came out of his hand funny, almost went to the backstop.
Here comes the payoff pitch. It's lifted to right. Markakis on the run. He's going to play that off the base of the wall. And Alfaro slams on the brakes and heads back to first with a long single off the wall in right field.
Great play by Nick. This you see all too often, an outfielder who has a ball hit over his head and just chases the ball all the way to the wall and then winds up chasing it back off the wall. Well, Nick knew he wasn't going to catch it, so he tried to set himself in a position to play it off that fence and did a good job to hold him to a single.
Yeah, all those years playing the short porch and right in Baltimore and in Atlanta served him well here. And now Nola will try to bunt. And he takes upstairs, ball 1. Nola's laid down a couple of sacrifices. He struck out in the second against Julio Teheran. There's the bunt. It'll be fielded by Flaherty at the first base line, and Fried sprints to the third base bag just in case Alfaro thought about picking up another 90 feet. So a successful sacrifice goes 5-4 at first base. Alfaro at second, 1 out, and the top of the Phillies orders coming up.
Third sacrifice so far on the year for Nola.
Hernandez 0 for 1 with a walk. That came hitting left-handed. Right-handed, he's 6 out of 17 on the year with 9 walks. is a good choice. Hernandez overall hitting .310 for the year.
Both of his homers have been hit left-handed.
Thought Scott Berry came in and said that's a balk, but I think Paul Maurer had said time had been called. And that was immediately waved off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside corner, pretty pitch.
He's hitting some corners. He just was not able to make a good pitch before going 3-2 on Alfaro.
So it's 2-2 for Cesar Hernandez. Santana's on deck. All the offense for both clubs in the first inning. Lifted to right. Right at Markakis. So there's the second out. And Santana will be the hitter. Santana picked up his 17th walk in the first inning. He then struck out in inning number 3. See if he can be an easy out for Atlanta. We'll have Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki, and Acuna due in the 6th inning against Aaron Nola. Santana, another switch hitter for the Phillies. Curveball, a strike.
It gives them 5 guys with 20 or more strikeouts. Braves have 3.
They're averaging 10 strikeouts a game. That's 3 innings plus with no contact, yet they've won 15 games. Sharply hit right to short. Dansby's got it. Crow hop and the flip to first in time, and Max Fried navigates his way through a second scoreless inning. On we go to the 6th inning. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Atlanta. The fun starts with Freddy Freeman in a tie game.
Atlanta Braves and Atlanta United on Fox Sports South and Fox Sports Southeast. Presented by Advance Auto Parts.
Well, partner, we've talked about how it's been total team effort so far for Brian Snitker in 2018. They're going to need one from the pitching staff tonight after Julio left with some discomfort after 3 innings of work. It's a 3-3 game after 5. There is your game summary.
And it got off to such a good start. The offense did a good job against Nola. But unfortunately, the Phillies got all 3 of those runs right back.
One ball, no strikes for Freddy Freeman, who has an RBI single. He's also stolen a base. That RBI, his 18th. Nola struck out 4 Braves. Shift on for Freddie, and he hits it into the glove of Crawford, I believe, and the stretch at first, Santana. What a play. Another bounce, and that's into right center field. But the shift pays off for the Phillies that time as Crawford ranges to his left for the first out.
Nice play by the kid. Of course, if there hadn't been a shift, that would have been right at Hernandez.
Markakis doubled with 2 outs his last time up. He's 1 out of 2. Nola's doing what Nola does. He set down 16 of his last 18 hitters. Outside, ball 1. One thing the Braves did take care of, Nola's streak of 8 straight games allowing 2 or fewer earned runs. That went by the board in the very first inning when he gave up 3. Well, let's see if Atlanta can hang a loss on him. Joe mentioned how good Nola was in his last game. He gave up 2 runs against the Pirates. Well, he gave up a home run to Sean Rodriguez to start the game, and then he started dealing. High fly ball to right. Altair will have plenty of room, and Aaron makes that catch. 9 up, 9 down, 2 away. Here's Suzuki. And we finally got word on Julio Teheran. It has been described as right upper trap tightness. So it was a physical problem for Julio Teheran tonight. We'll hear more from Brian Snitker and Julio after the game when Paul Bird gets to the clubhouse after game 1. The pitch to Kurt is inside, ball 1.
And that muscle top of your shoulder and runs up to your neck.
I don't have one, but I'll take your word for it.
You got big muscles.
Yeah, all in the wrong places, but that's a story for another time. 1 ball, no strikes for Kurt Suzuki. He's had trouble catching up with that off-speed stuff of Nolan. He is not giving in throwing fastballs at all tonight.
Nope. Last 2 innings, those pitch counts have allowed him to stay in the game too.
1-1 pitch. Another pop-up. This one to Crawford at short. He's in on the dirt. He's underneath, and Nola has another 9-pitch inning. If he plays the lottery, 9 had better be his number. 3-3 game. Phillies coming up in the 6th. Acuna facing Aaron Nola for the first time after a half inning. Joe, things look great for Atlanta. They were off to a flying start, but it was pretty clear from the opening bell something wasn't right with Julio Teheran. Home run tied it up. And that's where we stand after 5.5 innings here in Game 1 against the Phillies.
Great start by Atlanta against a tough pitcher, and the numbers bear out that if you don't get him early, you don't get him. So far, the Braves have not been able to get him since.
Here's Herrera, a 3-run homer, a line drive 3-run homer. He's also lined out to center, and this is Herrera's third at bat. That was the third pitch he has seen tonight. Max Fried begins his third inning of relief for Julio. He's got the 3-4-5 Phillies hitters coming up.
Good hook there.
Herrera has 10 hits, 7 RBIs in 8 games on the Phillies homestand. That home run gives him a 10-game hitting streak. One of the hot hitters for Philadelphia that Joe was talking about for Julio Teheran tonight. And Herrera hitting a hefty .404 in his home ballpark. That is third overall among all National League hitters in his home yard. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a fly ball hit well toward right. Markakis back. That one is gone. Odubel Herrera has a 2-homer game.
He hit an off-speed pitch from Julio. He had a good hack at what was a pretty good curveball from Max Fried earlier in the count. Comes back with a curve, and it stayed in the middle of the plate. Boy, did he wait back on that. He must have been looking for it again.
That's his first career multi-homer game, and it puts the Phillies in front. It was hitting almost an identical spot as his first inning blast, and the Phillies lead 4-3. Here's Hoskins. He has a first inning hit. He was picked off, and he's also grounded out to short. That first inning single gave Hoskins a .500 on base percentage. This guy has been tough for the Braves to figure out how to retire consistently. Hoskins now 9 for 21 against the Braves this year with a home run. And if you pitch him in, you do so at your own peril in this ballpark. If you pitch him away, we've seen him have excellent plate coverage. Heck, we've seen him have great left-handed batter's box coverage with the bat.
Right.
Two balls and a strike. And a bouncing ball foul.
Let me show you that home run again. As a left-handed hitter from a left-handed pitcher, you love seeing this curveball start at you, because even if you flinch, you've got a chance at the ball staying inside or over the middle of the plate. Still got a chance to get to it. If that pitch is thrown at the middle of the plate and then breaks away from you, it's a completely different situation.
2-2.
That was not really a hanger. It was just mislocated.
So Fried in his last 2 appearances has given up the homer to Herrera, the homer to Scooter Gennett. Left-hand hitters. 2-2. Leadoff homer in the 6th for the Phillies. And Hoskins couldn't check his swing. Fried got him to swing and miss. And there's the first out of the inning. Max has his second strikeout of the night, 1 away.
Hoskins kind of knew it also, and he did go. He was already walking, but just in case.
Yeah, strikeouts don't bother the Phillies. They strike out a lot. About 10 per game. 4 times they've struck out tonight. Nothing in 1 for Aaron Altair. He's walked and popped out. And that's a little low. Phillies on base percentage, they believe, makes up for the lack of consistent contact for their offense. As this one's hammered toward Markakis, a line drive laser that he'll catch. 2 out. Phillies are striking out as a team about 31% of their at bats. And when they get runners in scoring position, they're striking out about 1 every 3 at bats as well, 32% of the time. But you get 2 and 3 run homers because you have guys on base with walks. I guess you could play that way. But who can argue with the results? So far they're 15 and 9 and have won 10 of 13 at home. And if the Mets lose in San Diego and this score holds, the Phillies would be in first place. They're a half game back.
These curveballs to right-handers not a whole lot different than the one that Herrera hit out. It's just that the right-hander has a tendency to give up on it because it's such a big breaker.
That's out of play into the second deck. And Kingery behind 0-2. All the Phillies' damage has been done by their top 3 hitters in the lineup. See if Max can make short work of the Phillies' third baseman here and get the Braves bats up in the 7th. And he did just that. 3rd strikeout for Fried. Good live fastball takes care of Kingery. A leadoff homer for Herrera puts the Phillies in front, but Ronald Acuna will try to change that. He leads off for Atlanta next. First 3 days as a big leaguer. Line drives all over the place in Cincinnati. A great diving catch here tonight. Got an RBI double that he hit at 112 miles an hour. He's going to lead off the 7th, and at the stretch, stay tuned. Nick Green is in our Atlanta studios. He's going to break down Ronald Acuna's swing for us on the stretch. Hopefully, after Acuna and the Braves wrest the lead right back away from Aaron Nola, who is through 6, and he set down the last 10 Braves in order.
Yeah, I hope it's another highlight swing that he can work from.
A 112-mile-an-hour exit velocity for Acuna in the first inning, the hardest hit ball of any Brave yet this year. Nola then struck him out in the 4th inning. Ronald's seen 15 pitches now in his first 2+ at bats. Nola pulled that one off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good eye, ball 2. Leadoff walk wouldn't hurt, not with Ronald's speed.
Back-to-back change-ups to him again. A lot of off-speed from Nola tonight. He might show you the fastball. Usually it's off the plate or upstairs.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Another multi-hit game for Acuna. So Nola has to go back to the stretch, and a world of options for Brian Snitker now. Good contact man at the plate and a fast man at first.
There was a fastball, and it was running back to Ronald. Came in on him a little bit, but got his hands inside there and got the barrel to it.
6 for 12 is a pretty good start at the plate, I'd say.
Yes.
Now let's see if he does some running here. Dansby is the hitter. He's 0 for 2. And he's done some of his best work with runners on base, hitting .462 this year with Braves aboard. With Acuna's 7th inning single, it's only the 2nd time tonight the Braves have had the leadoff man on in the game. Ender led off with a walk and scored the first run. Braves are very aggressive, running the bases in that first inning. Inciarte, Freeman, and Albies all had steals. And Acuna back standing up.
He stole 44 bases last year in the minor leagues combined at all 3 levels. And naturally, when you're gifted with that kind of foot speed, you can take advantage of a lot of opportunities in the minor leagues. Here, it's a little more calculated. You've got to be taught how to read pitchers. Their first move to the plate, what to look for, and there is certainly a book on that. And to have a guy like Eric Young standing over there at first base talking in your ear, that is a great asset too.
What would he be telling Acuna in this spot?
Maybe something he saw, like left knee, watch his left heel. The other part of it too is game situation. What's the score? What's the count? And who the hitter is makes a difference too. It's not just get on base and go.
0-1 for Dansby. And back to first. Here's a practical question. How much baseball English does Acuna understand? Or does Eric Young have enough baseball Spanish so that there's no communication problem?
I don't know about Eric's Spanish. I know that they've probably talked about this in advance, maybe even in spring training. Maybe having some buzzwords that he understands from a baseball terminology standpoint. Big lead.
And a smoker up the middle. What a play by Hernandez. The throw to first in time. What a double play. That was Freddie Galvis-like, folks. This time, though, it's Cesar Hernandez who can't believe he actually snared that. Neither can Swanson. A heartbreaking double play.
What a good play. Nice play by Santana to stay on the bag, too. That'll squash an inning.
EY thought Santana might have come off the bag to make that catch.
Crawford got a good feed from Hernandez. He almost threw it away.
So new life for Nola in the 7th inning. 2 outs, bases empty for Ryan Flaherty, who's 0 for 2. And 1 for his last 15. And a strike from Nola. That was at 93 miles an hour, and it just looked so free and easy, and bang, there it is, a strike. Pretty impressive. Flaherty can reach. Johan Camargo is on deck. He would pinch hit. Line drive, a base hit into center. So there's a much needed single for Flaherty, his 12th base hit against the Phillies. And Johan Camargo will come up for Max Fried, who pitched 3 innings of 1-run relief. That run, the Herrera homer. Max struck out 3, walked 1, and gave up 2 hits.
There's Adam Morgan up for the Phillies. He's been getting a lot of work.
We won't have to worry about Hobie Milner in this series. Milner was sent back to AAA after a 7-point ERA out of the Philly pen. Oh, here we are, 7th inning. This is the magic time for Atlanta, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Much of that work has been done against opposing relief pitchers, including those of the Phillies. Let's see if Nola at 90 pitches makes a mistake and Camargo can cash it in. And another breaking ball for a strike.
Good pitch. Guys coming off the bench want to swing the bat. They want to try to hack at that first fastball strike they get, and Nola started him with a hook.
One would think this is Nola's final inning. He's due up 3rd in the 7th. Going through the lineup the 3rd time. And another hook and another strike. 0-2. Nola 5-2 lifetime in 9 starts against the Braves. He's gone almost 40 innings without giving up a home run to an Atlanta hitter. This would be a great time for that streak to end.
It would be. 0-2 count.
And Johan took it low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Four runs, 4 hits for the Phillies, 3 runs, 6 hits for Atlanta. Boy, that Hernandez double play start is a huge play. Braves might have had the game tied if he didn't start the twin killing. But they still have life in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Fought off foul, back to the screen. Nola's got to be a frustrating guy to face because even when you make contact, it's not on the barrel of the bat. Off the end, and
seems like you're always behind in the count too.
Yeah,
you want to get ahead. You want to jump on him early, but he's seen the scouting reports about the Braves and their first pitch swinging, and he's done a good job tonight of counteracting that with a lot of off-speed pitches.
Ground ball up the middle, another hit. Flaherty's around second. He's going to slam on the brakes because Altair got to it quickly. And so the Braves with 3 hits in the 7th inning. This one came with 2 outs. Camargo got to 2 strikes and picks up a pinch hit single. And now at the top of the order, Inciarte, Albies, and Freeman lurking. Let's see if Gabe Kapler sticks with Aaron Nola here. Phillies bullpen's been excellent, but I don't know if you can pitch much better than Nola has tonight. He still leads, but he's a mistake away from giving up that 4-3 advantage.
Nice job by Camargo again off the bench.
Well, let's see if the 4th time seeing Nola is the charm for Ender. It's not going to matter, it looks like. There's Gabe Kapler.
He hasn't made a sign yet,
which you're supposed to do if you're going to make a change immediately. He'll buy some time here. Morgan's been up and throwing for quite a bit. 95 pitches for him. And he's going to let him get out of it. You know what you're seeing from Aaron Nola. And with all due respect to Adam Morgan or anybody else, in this situation, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, from anybody else, you'd rather have this guy out there in charge of his own game.
Nola certainly has earned that right tonight. The way he's pitched, he's gotten Ender 0 for 2. Ender with a 10-game hitting streak on the line tonight. And he didn't get a rare fastball on the first pitch.
That was rare.
No runs, but 3 hits in the inning. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was Aaron Nola who got taken out of a 5-0 Phillies lead in Atlanta after 68 pitches. When Atlanta did absolutely nothing with him, the Phillies bullpen coughed it up and the Braves won Game 1. He's not allowing history to repeat tonight. Game in the hands of the Phillies starter. The pitch. Over but low.
Good eye.
He wanted that pitch, didn't get it. A little too much presentation from Alfaro on that one.
Alfaro jerks his glove around so much that umpires are going to take exception to that. He's not framing, he's yanking.
Didn't have to yank that one. That was center cut. And now it's 2-2.
Ender looking for something off speed there and didn't get it.
Flaherty represents the tying run. Camargo at first could be the go-ahead run. Nola about to make his 100th pitch, and he has pitched tonight. Had a streak of 6 straight retired, had a streak of 10 straight retired. A huge double play for the Phillies has kept him in front. The 2-2 pitch. He has fought off foul. We'll do it again.
He's still got a little something left. That was 94.
Fans in the spirit tonight, 27,076. The paid crowd. We've seen a doozy. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out in a 1-run game.
Taken off a lot of pitches the last 2.
Breaking ball rolled to short. The long throw to first in time, and Aaron Nola given the opportunity to finish off the 7th inning. Strands a pair of Braves, and a great double play breaks Atlanta's hearts. 4-3 is your score. It's time for the stretch. Let's send it to Nick Green in our Atlanta studios. Nick, take it away. So the Phillies come up in the home seventh, trying to extend a 4-3 lead. This is an interesting game on so many levels, Joe. Let's start with the fate of Julio Teheran, who pitched 3 innings but had a trap problem.
Well, let's look at the speeds of these pitches. This is the first inning. 2 walks, nothing over 87. And then on the first pitch to Herrera, it's a 3-run homer. Base hit by Hoskins. You see him kind of flexing there a little bit. As it turned out, he worked only 3 innings and gave up only the 3 runs in the first inning, but he came out with what was described as tightness in his trap muscle. And he wanted to keep going, but was literally talked out of it by Brian Snitker.
So Chase Whitley is on to pitch for Atlanta, his first appearance, and the first pitch is hit down the right field line by J.P. Crawford. He's got at least 2, and he's going to slam on the brakes, and that's how the home seventh start. J.P. Crawford with a leadoff double, his 3rd of the year. Whitley was recalled today, was on the disabled list with a right heel infection.
Infield trying to take the bunt away from him, and he yanks one right by Freddy.
And here's Alfaro, the Phillies catcher. He's 1 for 2. Whitley was with Tampa Bay last year. Braves claimed him off waivers December 1st. Alfaro's job simple: get Crawford to 3rd base at the very least. Nick Williams on deck. He would bat for Aaron Nola. He threw 101 pitches tonight. And that's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, and Kurt Suzuki out for a visit.
It would stand to reason that if you're a team like the Phillies who hit homers or walk or strike out, and you're not all that good handling the bat and doing the fundamental things like hit a ball to the right side here to get a guy over to 3rd base. But we'll see how it works out. If this were Hernandez, I'd say, oh yeah, he easily could do that.
1 ball, no strikes. He wasn't swinging like he was trying to hit the ball to the right side there, was he? Even count. Again, with all respect to the Phillies, they are taking advantage of a very favorable schedule. Of their first 43 games, they have 2 series against teams that had winning records last year. They just finished 1 of them and lost 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. They face Washington on their next road trip, but Washington's below 500 this year. And time called as Whitley was ready to turn it loose. Conversely, the Braves have had one of the, if not the most difficult schedules in the National League, and are above 500 at 14-10. The last road trip really tough. Colorado, the Cubs, and Washington. The Braves did a good job. Which is in for a strike. 1-2. One more stop on this one. After we play the Phillies, we head to New York.
It's already been a long trip, hasn't it?
Sure has. 4 in Cincinnati, 3 this weekend with the Phillies. Off day Monday. Braves are home very briefly. A 3-game homestand with the Giants. And then we're right back on the road. We do our trek to Florida. And that's fouled away. Braves play 2 in Tampa Bay, 4 in Miami. We go back to Chicago for the makeup game with the Cubs, and then come right back to Atlanta and play the Cubs in Miami.
Yeah, it's one of those quirks where you have to go back and make up that rain out, that freeze out in Chicago, and then go home and play the Cubs.
But the way the Braves are playing, we hope you'll pack SunTrust Park. Weather in Atlanta ought to be beautiful for the Giants. A lot of Cubs fans in Atlanta for that series. The Marlins in on the weekend, so hope you'll make your plans to visit. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Whitley to Alfaro, and that was not close. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Oh boy, got a break there.
Yeah.
That got under Kurt, bounced off him, and then hit Paul Noward in the shin guard. Kept that ball from going to the backstop.
Yeah, it got all the wickets, didn't it?
Yeah. That got under his glove, hit him in the foot, and then hit Noward in the leg.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball center, well hit. Ender on the run. He's gone as far as he can go. It's a home run. Jorge Alfaro with the second extra base hit for the Phillies in the inning, and they've just extended their lead to 6-3. The 3rd homer hit by Philadelphia tonight.
Sinker that didn't sink enough. He got all of it to straightaway center. He was 0 for 7 before his single in the 5th. And now the home run.
So those cold guys at the bottom of the Phillies order are starting to heat up. Crawford a double. Alfaro 2 hits and a 2-run homer. And the Phillies now lead 6-3 with Nick Williams coming on to hit for Aaron Nola, who pitched 7 brilliant innings. Atlanta had him on the ropes in the first. The Phillies got 3 in their first turn and now have opened up a 3-run lead. Popped up to the left side, Swanson and Flaherty. And Ryan says he's got it. He does. 1 out. So back to the top, Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez walked. I think it was a 4-pitch walk from Julio to start the game. Scored on the Herrera homer. Maybe the most important play he made was in the top of the 7th inning with the hot smash off the bat of Dansby's drive, and a double play took the Braves out of the inning. .101 pitches for Nola, 69 strikes. Boy, what a textbook performance of how to pitch and not throw from the Phillies starter tonight. Sharply hit. That's pulled foul at first. 0-2. Tommy Hunter was up and throwing in the Phillies bullpen. We haven't seen him yet. Hunter was hurt the first 2 series that the Braves and Phillies played. Braves have 6 outs left. They're down 6-3. And a swing and a miss takes care of Hernandez. Whitley's first strikeout as a Brave. 2 out. And here's Santana. Santana's walked in 3 trips to the plate. He too has scored. Well, Phillies, if this score holds, they'll be 16-9. They will wait for the outcome of the Mets game in San Diego tonight. Mets, remember, had that brilliant 11-1 start. Things have gotten a little bit tighter for Mickey Callaway's club of late. Mets are 4-8 after starting 11-1.
And where are they tonight? San Diego?
San Diego, yep. But they've got Jacob deGrom pitching against the Padres in that series. 1 ball, no strikes for Carlos Santana. Shift on for him. The 2-0 is high, ball 3. Cardinals lead the Pirates 5-2 in the 8th inning in Pittsburgh. Cubs beat Milwaukee 3-2. Arizona 5, Washington 4 in the 6th.
Cardinals are playing good baseball.
We've got Miles Mikolas pitching. He's the kid they brought back from Japan. Cardinals atop the Central Division. Santana lost the helmet as that pitch buzzed inside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk brings up Odubel Herrera. A big night for him. His first multi-homer game in the major leagues. A 3-run shot in the 1st, a solo shot in the 6th, a homer off Fried, a homer off Tehran tonight.
Saw Chuck Hernandez on the phone to the bullpen. I'm sure he and Brian Snitker were hoping Whitley could finish the game, finish this inning, work the 8th, and save the bullpen.
Well, Herrera's got such a unique batting stance. You and I talk about it every time we see him. He is coiled like a serpent, and then that front leg stays in the air seemingly forever, and his ability to stand like a stork or a flamingo and then turn that bat loose is really amazing.
And his starting position very awkward too.
He's leaning forward. But it's amazing, no matter how big league hitters start at the point of contact, almost everybody looks the same.
Got to get it back into a hitting position, and he has certainly done that tonight.
1 ball, no strikes. 2 across in the Phillies 7th, and Whitley gets that one over for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Plus he's really strong, especially in his lower half. He's got strong legs.
One ball, 1 strike. Popped him up. Freddy Freeman is there right by the Phillies on deck circle, and that retires the side. Chase Whitley debuts for Atlanta, a double and a home run by Alfaro later. The Phillies extend their lead to 6-3, but the 2, 3, 4 hitters are coming up for Atlanta in the 8th.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
6-3 Phillies after 7 in Game 1 here in the city of brotherly love. Tomorrow before the Braves battle Philadelphia in Game 2. Catch Atlanta United as they take on the Montreal Impact. And as part of our final salute to April in the ATL, don't miss guest appearances from the Braves heavy hitters, Tomahawk team, and a special Braves alum you know very well. You're joining the Atlanta United telecast. Our coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern Time on Fox Sports South and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You're going to be here tomorrow, right?
I will be.
Okay, so it won't be Joe on the telecast,
no.
just in case you wanted to guess who it would be. Tommy Hunter's on. Third appearance for him. He was disabled when the Braves saw Philadelphia. A hamstring problem.
Hard thrower. 94 to 98. Throws a cutter off of that.
That might have been it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies added Hunter as a setup guy for their bullpen. They've added Jake Arrieta to their starting staff. Phillies pitching has been excellent this year. Phillies a team .333 ERA, good for 4th in the National League. As we've seen tonight, they can hit the ball out of the ballpark, especially this one. They've hit 3 homers. But it all starts with the starting pitching. You have Pivetta, you have Nola, you have Arrieta. That's pretty nasty top 3. And a swing and a miss gets Ozzie. 1 up, 1 down in the 8th inning. Braves will see Pivetta tomorrow night. Vince Velasquez on Sunday afternoon. Then we're off to New York.
It's like one more guy might need to be used in the 8th inning, and that appears to be Peter Moylan.
Freddy with an RBI single. He's 1 for 3. He's played Pemper with the shortstop twice. Nice play by Crawford to rob him of a hit last time up. They've been consistent with that shift all night long for Freddy, who smokes it to the right side, and this time Hernandez can't glove it. It's off the heel of his mitt, and Freddy's aboard with 1 out.
Even at that depth, it was eating Hernandez up. He's out in shallow right field. Couldn't come up with it.
So there's a start in the 8th inning. Here's Markakis. As you know, the Braves have done an amazing job under Brian Snitker of coming back. I think it's 41 comeback wins since Brian has been the Braves manager. And Atlanta in the 7th inning or later has scored 322 runs since 2017. 3rd best in baseball. They need 3 to get it tied tonight. And ball 1 for Nick at 96 miles an hour. Excuse me, Braves 2nd in that category. Beg your pardon.
Great work, though.
1 ball, no strikes. And Joe, this park a lot like Cincinnati. A 3-run lead here, no matter how good your pitching can be, is not a very big lead.
It's not much at all.
One ball, 1 strike. He held up. Good thing he did. Otherwise, that might have cracked him across the knuckles.
True.
Nick's been part of that late inning fun. As Hunter gets set to make his 10th pitch. Two and two.
Couldn't quite get on top of that. Good swing, though.
Lifted toward left. Back goes Hoskins to the warning track, and a step shy of the fence hauls it in. That's the short porch in Philadelphia, and Nick was a step shy of making it a one-run game.
Almost.
And here's Kurt Suzuki. Good at bat by Nick. He's 1 for 4. Kurt's 0 for 3 tonight. 2 pop-outs and a strikeout. What a job he has done in the absence of Tyler Flowers, who was activated today. If you missed that, Paul reported on Braves Live that Flowers and Whitley added to the roster today. Guessing we'll see Tyler here tomorrow night. Nice play by Acuna. Did you see the vertical bouncing ball in the on-deck circle, and Acuna with a leaping grab made a fan in the front row. No balls and a strike. And a chopper hit towards short. And the throw low at first. Santana can't hang on. And everybody's safe.
He makes a lot of unforced errors. And I don't mean they all result in errors. Mistakes where on his throws, like when he almost pulled Santana off the bag on that double play ball. He got a great hop here. Did not have a fast runner. He throws a sinker, sidearm sinker.
It was in the mid of Santana, but he couldn't put the squeeze on it. That's Crawford's 5th error. And it brings the tying run to the plate in Ronald Acuna, who's already 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI double. Every team has an Achilles heel right now for the Phillies. It is their defense. It has not been good. 23 errors for them now in 25 games.
It's the most in the National League, depending on what Milwaukee did tonight.
And that will catch up to Gabe Kapler's club over the long haul. No balls and a strike. Back to the mound, and Hunter's got it. He'll flip to first in time, and he pitches around J.P. Crawford's throwing error from short. Braves get 2 aboard, strand them both. Bottom of the 8th, 6-3 game. Six-3 Philadelphia, bottom of the 8th inning of Game 1 of our series. Peter Moylan grabs a baseball, and it will be the 4th Atlanta pitcher, the 3rd in relief of Julio Teheran, who departed with an injury after 3.
Peter was in 2 games in Cincinnati. Back-to-back games, 23rd and 24th, worked a total of an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs allowed, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
Hope he has an easy time with Hoskins, Altair, and Kingery in the Phillies' 8th. 6-3. Phillies have hit 3 home runs tonight.
It was Hoskins who hit a pitch from Peter in Atlanta. There's about a foot outside. Hit it down the right field line for a double. And it's against right-handed hitters that Brian Snitker and Chuck Hernandez want to see some more results from Moylan.
Righty's hitting a whopping 450 against him. 9 for 20. That's not Peter Moylan-like. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right out of play. It's 1-2. Hector Neris, that wicked split finger pitch is the Phillies closer. He's getting ready. At the moment he has the biggest lead you can have to earn a save. It's 3 runs. Fans here having a good time. Pitch is pulled fair. Nice play, Flaherty. Long throw, slow runner. The stretch not in time. And Freeman with his glove hand waves to the dugout to appeal. What a play by Flaherty to nearly take away a hit from Hoskins. Did the Braves get him anyway? Let's take a look.
Great glove work. 1 hop throw. Hard to tell from that angle. Hoskins not a fast man, but he runs well for his size. Braves are going to appeal this. I'm not sure. Ooh. But the only thing that might save Hoskins there are his spikes. If his spikes were touching the base and not the rest of his foot.
So you might as well challenge it here. So Hoskins for the moment is credited with his 2nd base hit of the night. So while the Braves challenge this call, I want to send out congratulations to my son Stephen Carey and the St. Augustine High School Yellow Jackets lacrosse team. They won their first district playoff game, regional playoff game in school history tonight over Lake Mary, Florida. So
congratulations.
As a Georgia Bulldog, as much as it pains me to say, go Jackets.
Good for them.
So the call's confirmed. It is a base hit for Hoskins. And he's aboard in front of Aaron Altair, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Good ball game in Miami tonight. The Rockies are beating the Marlins 1-0 in the 8th inning. That's Urania pitching for the Marlins. The stretch and pitch is up and in. Miami doesn't have a good record. We know that. We know what they're going through in South Florida at 7-17, but they have not been blown out in every game. They've been within 2 or 3 runs just about every night.
I know this. They gave the Dodgers fits.
In fact, they beat Clayton Kershaw, who's 1-4. Bouncing ball to Flaherty. Backs up. Long throw to second one. Long throw to first is in time. Great stretch. Great turn. Double play.
Flaherty does such a good job of getting rid of the ball on these around the horn double plays. Good feed to Ozzie. And his good arm, the difference here.
Did a great job of using the base to shield himself from Hoskins barreling in at the bag as well. So Moylan gets another ground ball. It earns him 2 for the price of 1. And now Scott Kingery's up with an 0 for 3 working. He's 0 for his last 14 now. And as you said, this is a really good player who's going through what so many do in their first weeks in the big leagues.
Phillies are a really good team. They've got, like the Braves, have got a good mixture of young players and some veterans who have been paying the price for the last couple of years. They're hungry to win. They just want these young guys that have had so much attention paid to them. They want them to step in and carry their share of the load, particularly Kingery, Crawford.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a little bloop over first. That's going to break that long over for Kingery. And the weight of the world just left his shoulders with a wry smile. I would imagine you feel like you're never ever going to get a hit when you're in that kind of a drought. But a bloop hit takes care of that for Scott Kingery.
A teammate of mine told me one time he thought he was out of hits.
Out of hits?
Yeah, he said, I think I'm out of hits. I think we're given so many. You know, you're just allotted so many, and I'm out.
That's okay to say, I guess, in September. But if it's April and you're out of hits, that's rough. Do you remember when that teammate said it?
It was about halfway through the year. He wasn't out.
He wasn't out? Good.
Turned out he had a couple left.
Here's Crawford. He doubled and scored ahead of Alfaro's home run in the 7th inning. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-3. Phillies lead in game 1. Phillies have a plus 25 run differential this year. They're 5th in the league in runs. 8th in the league in average, but 5th in on base percentage. And all that matters is they could get to 16 wins tonight.
Well, they have the quick strike capability, as we already saw, especially the 3-run homer in the first.
Swing and a miss by J.P. Crawford. What I think should really excite the Phillies is their starting pitching. It's been very, very good. And the addition of Jake Arrieta is a perfect bell cow in the middle of the rotation for them. A veteran who's been through the wars with a World Series ring. He's off to a 3-0 start. Nola's got a chance to be 3-1. That one is behind Crawford, and I think it hit him on the way by. It did. So the Phillies have their 3rd base runner of the inning. 2 of them are on now after 2 outs. Hit batsman.
Yeah, that breaking ball, he pulled that one a little bit, didn't he?
Yep. Nick Pavetta's 1-0 in 5 starts. Velasquez, they got to figure out, he's 1-3. And Axel Rios 3-0 out of the bullpen. And we said in spring training we like the Phillies. They've got a good team. We saw signs of that in the second half last year. And again, they have a chance to be in first place. Alfaro, a single and a homer. He snapped a 1-for-14 slide with a 5th inning hit. Well, you know he's going to be trying to lift and separate here. And that one is out of play right side. A ball and a strike. Phillies have 6 runs on 8 hits. 3 of them left the park. Four of their hits extra bases tonight. And that one's hit up the middle. Diving try Dansby. He can't get it. Kingery around third. He's going to score. And it's a big night for Alfaro. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. And that makes it a 7-3 game. Alfaro had 3 RBIs coming in. He's doubled that total here tonight.
And some tough luck for Peter. The infield hit, good play by Flaherty, but they couldn't get Hoskins. Gave up the blue pit to Kingery. Hit a batter, and then this base hit just out of the reach of Dansby.
And now Pedro Florimon hits a screaming line drive to second that is caught by Albies, and that takes care of the Phillies in the 8th. But the run they scored takes away the save opportunity for Neris. He's hot. Let's see if he comes in for the 9th.
But you're going to like what we're going to show you. This is the T-Mobile, built for baseball. And how about Ronald Acuna crushing the ball up the middle? I'm going to round that up to 112 miles an hour off the bat. That is the hardest hit ball the Braves have had all year. Congratulations to the youngest player in baseball. And how about this 4-star catch? 44% probability. Look at the dive. Way to go, Julio. Love that. You're going to see it again in slow motion. Watch him protect the shoulders by keeping the arms up after the slide. Nice job. Guys, this player we have out in left field is everything we advertised. Back to you guys.
He's been fun to watch, Paul. There's no doubt about it. Acuna 6 for 13 in his first 3 big league games with 3 RBIs. And now Hector Neris comes in a non-save situation. The lead's too big for the final inning. But Neris with a terrific start to his season and that filthy split finger pitch, which can be so problematic. Dansby Swanson will try to contend with that. Dansby was robbed of a base hit in the 7th inning. Maybe the play of the game for the Phillies. Aaron Nola, wow, gave up a leadoff hit, and then Swanson hit a absolute bullet up the middle that Hernandez speared somehow and started a double play.
You just hit that one off the facing of the 3rd deck. Neris has had trouble with the Braves already this year. He's been in 3 games, 2 2/3 innings, 3 runs.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swanson, Flaherty, and then we'll see. And a swing and a miss. Dansby a chase upstairs. He's retired, 1 down. Second time Dansby has struck out in the game. And here's Flaherty, 1 for 3 on the night. Preston Tucker grabs a bat. Looks like he will pinch hit for Moylan. Nick Pivetta and Mike Fultonevich meet in game 2 of the series. First pitch at 6:05 Eastern Time. Braves live at 5:30. As our long three-city road trip continues, Braves need 4 runs in the 9th to forge a tie against Hector Neris.
Just need some base runners, get back to the top of the order. This guy's given it up to the Braves before.
That was close. Alfaro came out of the chute ready to fire the ball to third.
Neris thought so too.
Well, now it hasn't given many corners. That looked like a strike, so another chance for Ryan Flaherty here. Let's see if they go to the same spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out.
There was the split finger. Watch this go down.
The pitch of the 80s has made a comeback in the right arm of Hector Neris. In the 90s it was the slider. In the early 2000s it was the cutter. Neris is bringing back Bruce Suter's famous pitch with a vengeance. He's gotten 2 strikeouts in the 9th. Tucker stands in the way of a Phillies win. And he threw another one. Strike 1. Last time the Phillies had a share of first place was April 19th, 2017. That was very early in the season. 0-1 pitch.
You might remember they got up to a great start.
Yeah.
With Pete McCannon as their manager.
They were winning a lot of 2-1, 1-0 games.
Then they finished up real strong with Pete McCannon as their manager, but somehow that wasn't good enough.
Last time they've had first place all to themselves, the final day of the 2011 season. And if the Mets lose tonight with 1 more strike, the Phillies will be in first. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing to Ron Washington, foul. We'll do it again. Another 0-2 pitch. He is in the dirt. $27,000 plus here tonight. Where the Phillies are playing, I have a feeling we'll see more than that tomorrow.
Me too.
And certainly on Sunday. They're trying to catch up on the Villanova Eagles fever here. The pitch. Right back where it came from. It's off the pitcher's leg and into center field. So Preston Tucker on a 1-2 count whistles one off Neris's foot, I think. It got a big piece of the big reliever and trickled into center field for a base hit.
Oh boy, back of the calf. Nailed him.
So the Braves aren't done. Here's Ender. Another chance for him to keep his hitting streak alive. It's at 10 games and at risk. He's 0 for 3. Right there, a strike.
Did that in Cincinnati a couple of nights ago with a 9th inning base hit.
He's been piling them up. 18 hits in those 10 games. And a shot foul. And now Ender's behind 0-2.
Man, did he ever spin on that back foot to get to that ball?
No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Great catch in the second deck. Albies and Freeman are lurking, but the Braves have 1 strike left. Big league at bat by Inciarte here to keep the game alive. Alfaro's run out of fingers again. Swing and a miss. He struck out the side in the 9th inning. And the Phillies have beaten the Braves for the first time in this series. 3 home runs tonight, 2 of them by that man, Odubel Herrera, who has his first multi-homer game in the major leagues. Aaron Nola picks up the win, his 3rd of the year. Max Fried suffers the loss in relief of Julio Teheran, who went 3 innings before leaving with injury. That's your final from Philadelphia. Joe and I will recap it for you right after the break.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.